to be educated, but I'm so frustrated.
Hi everybody, Audra here.
And Cheryl. And today we're talking about straight talk.
Straight talk about divorce. Oh man, divorce sucks.
It really does. And you know, Audra, when I was going through my divorce, there were so many well-meaning people in my life, but I got overwhelmed with all of the advice I was getting. I went to a counselor, I had an attorney, I had good friends, I had relatives. Everybody was telling me something, and how do you make it stop?
Oh man, I tell you what, I just remembered a time when I was literally bawling. And I was sitting across the table from my grandfather, and I said, how do you handle everybody being in your business telling you what to do? And this sweet old man just said to me, I say thank you, and then I let it roll off my back. Well, that's a 95-year-old seasoned human being, right? Like pro in knowing that it comes from love. So I think that's the first thing to know, is that it does come from love, and the people who are advising us really care for us and want to protect us. And it's imperative to know which is the most important of your advisors in that season.
And how do you determine that? Because I might have a friend telling me something, my counselor's telling me something else, and my mind is just boggled.
Well, your friend is going to take the back seat, for sure. Friends take the back seat. No offense. Friends, stop telling your people what to do. You're probably not their therapist, right? That's why you have a friendship. And there is a code of ethics that your therapist cannot be your friend, even for a period of time after the friendship or after the therapy is complete. So I would say that for the emotional duress that occurs during the pre-existing relationship of the therapist is going to be the one that gives the most clout to say, hey, it sounds like XYZ, but remember, your therapist is not giving you legal or financial or any kind of advice or consequence. They're tending to your emotional needs.
Sure. And I think another thing to keep in mind as you are sharing your experiences with people in your life, it's really important to not overshare. Know how much to share with the person that you're sharing with. The person to share all of your emotional turmoil, I agree, would be your counselor.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think your friends necessarily need to see that. And you definitely don't want to share your finances with your friends. And there are just some things that need to be separate.
Yes. Well, and sometimes in a divorce, we forget discernment, right? That's that moment to sit down and take a pause. So if you take away anything, let it be to pause. There is not a need to share outside of your financial team what your financial scenario is. There is not a need to share outside of your medical team what your medical scenario is. There is not a need to share outside of your emotional well-being team what your emotional well-being scenario is, and then transition that on to your legal team. There is not a need to share, because when we share, we get the experiences of others that theirs may not look like ours, but that's all they know. So they, in a loving way, try to say, oh my goodness, well this happened to me and it was an epic poo show. Stop, right? They want to protect you.
Absolutely, and I agree with you. Everyone comes from a loving place and they want to support you. I want you to share. I know you have a business, Option 29, which can really be a help to people, especially as they're going through the emotional turmoil. Do you want to talk a little bit more about that?
Absolutely. Thank you for asking. So Option 29, we provide a holistic approach to being a central hub, a place where when you need resources for therapy or your emotional well-being, your financial well-being, to interpret the legal that's coming at you, you just don't know. That's not your wheelhouse. your physical needs, and your spiritual connections. We are the central hub that takes you and looks at what do you need and how can we work together with your team to make this divorce easier. It's never going to be easy.
Which I think is awesome, because option 29 gives you that support system that can support you without going to your friends and your family, and it can help you process and go through the process yourself without having to involve people maybe in your community.
One of the things we do best is we're a mirror that reflects what you've said. Often when we're going through a divorce, we forget that we've lost trust in ourselves. So learning how to hear us, listen to our own words coming out of our mouth, and know that we generated a solution that we want inside of us. What we do as coaches through option 29 is we repeat back to you and reflect to you what you've said you want in your life, and then help you find a pathway to that desired outcome.
Well, and really, Audra, who knows yourself better than you?
No one.
And who knows what you need ultimately better than you?
No one, unless you have a spirituality that has a higher power, and then that.
Absolutely.
Yes. Oh, Cheryl, well, thank you so much for always bringing up something so profound. And please, friends, know that we know everybody that knows you loves and cares about you. And they may not be the right person to give you the advice for you to get where you want and need to go, looking at your holistic scenario.
Let them give you the love and support you in your decisions, and not determine what your decisions are going to be.
Amen. That's straight talk.
Straight talk about divorce. Until next time, guys.